Science is a big factor when farmers grow your food, but there's a science to cooking it at home as well. Our Grow co-host Marilyn Barnett has that.
One thing that a lot of us anymore, we want to know where our food comes from. And Hillary from Common Ground, she's here to help us out a little bit, and we get to make a recipe along the way. So let's talk about the recipe first of all, Hillary. What are we making?
All right, we are going to make a summer corn salsa. Some people have their gardens ready, mine is not. So I want to share a couple options. So generally you're going to take 2 ears of corn, you're going to cook them, slice them, and go ahead and end up with about 2 cups.
Okay.
Very simple. But if you can't find good fresh sweet corn, or you're making this last minute, the niblets, just measure out 2 cups of that, 3 cups of chopped tomatoes. We go to 1/4 of a cup of chopped red onion. We go ahead and go to the garlic, which we're smelling in the studio right now.
Love it. So do we just poly this all together? How does this work here?
Together.
Now, while you're doing this here, this is available year-round for most of us, and some of us, we might think that's, well, you kind of take it for granted. How is that possible? Is technology the reason? How does that work?
Absolutely. Technology allows us to grow more food more times of the year. It allows us to grow more in greenhouses, even locally. And so instead of having tomatoes and corn just when they're in season, we get them year-round. And you know, you and I have grown up with that, and we're used to it. And we don't have to can our own to have that, but even just our grandparents, they probably had to can it or they didn't have that.
Probably.
And with technology and the opportunities in exporting and importing today, we're able to keep safe food, and it's year-round. So
and we've kind of relied on science a little bit too, haven't we? With, I mean, you hear about GMOs, but that's kind of the way it's gone, right?
It is. So with the science and the genetically modified, the GMOs, what it does is it allows us to grow more, better food with less inputs. So it actually makes your food a lot cheaper, and it's just as safe. That's the really cool part.
So that does trickle down to consumers.
Absolutely.
So what are you putting in there?
Tablespoon of cilantro.
Okay.
Very simple, and we'll see if I can get it measured out right without spilling too much. The cool thing about this recipe is it is kind of a throw and go, so
accidents are okay.
Accidents
to a certain
okay
extent.
To a certain extent. Thank goodness. Otherwise, I would be in trouble.
Me too. Right, and you just stir that together. Easy.
Stir it up. It's super easy. You do want to let it chill for about an hour to let that lime and cilantro really soak in. So the one we have that's made already is just about,
looks amazing.
Overnight is about right. So we love to use this just as a side with any of our grilled meats and Tostitos or any sort of tortilla chips or crackers. My kids have actually put it in your tortillas.
Oh, I bet that's good too.
And then you could put like sliced steak with it, flank steak or whatever. So you can use it in a lot of ways instead of just one way.
I love it. Get this recipe on our website as well, nebraska.tv. Click on the menu. And of course, thank you, Hillary, so much.
Thanks, Marilyn.
Up next, Kent has your Grow Weather Report.